We're back with some more posthumous investigation. Without further ado, let's begin. We've got a lot to do today, don't we? A heck of a lot. Oh dear, and I've forgotten entirely what we were meant to be doing. Something about this fella. We know that let's follow him around, shall we? Actually, let's just wait here until night, because we know that he comes around here at night, and it's probably best to just see what happens. Right, there's the fight. I don't really care. Here he is. But he just stands here and does nothing. Right, okay. Well, that was a wasteful day, but it's good to know that what he does at least. I've not done any news. Any news for you, my good friend? I've not even scratched the surface of anything. I've still got a few things to ask various people, so let's go do that while we're here. I only played this earlier this morning. You'd think I'd be able to remember, but alrighty, let's go to Noble's Park. We want to ask. Here's good old. Maybe we can take. No. Is this a very fast Mr. Bearz? Yeah, we can get to Mrs. Neves very early if we come over to here. Alright, do we have anything to talk to you about, my good friend? Alrighty. I've asked you about everyone that we can. Have we got any clues? No. Alright, well, I will see you later, my good friend. Alright, the other person, we could go get the key for Miss... When's Bearz? Hey buddy, what's going on? There we go. Right. Come on, let's go inside. There we go. Rebel and the good old... There we go. What's his name? Quintus? Quintus is the dog. Come on in. Alrighty. They're gonna be sitting around here. Let's see if we can ask them about some stuff. Let's interrogate him about... No? Okay. Well... Now, the other thing I can do is clear him up. But I probably am too late for a clears right now. We can go have a look, I guess. If the mayor's still there, then perhaps we are not late enough for a clears. The mayor's no longer here. There's also, we can get a coffee. Let's get a coffee. And that's for Neves, and then he'll be at the thing later at the club. Let's get the cheese bread as well. Let's quickly go grab the key. Then we'll go see Mr. Neves in his house before he goes insane, luckily. Hopefully. Alright, Coppers. She's gone. She might be at the... She's going to the church right now. So we could meet her up at the church on our way there. Now, we haven't got the clear to be able to bribe thing to be able to grab the key. And he grabs the key quite early on. Alright, let's go see here. Right. We don't really need to listen to that, so let's go grab Bearz. Not Bearz, no, what's his name? You know, Rubio. I say you know, like, you know who I'm talking about. Let's go to Rubio. Let's give him this here coffee. Yes, I'd like to show you this here coffee. Nothing like a cup of coffee to keep us awake, right? Would you like some coffee, Mr. Rubio? Well, thank you, officer. This is right what I needed. Been out falling asleep the last few days, and I missed the last performances of my diva at the Midnight Club. Stay, officer, and watch this coffee bring me back to life. Oh yeah, sure, let's stay. Oh my god, okay, so that skips like the whole day. The coffee was great. Let's go, we need to hurry to meet Sophia. Alright, let's go with them to the good old club. Follow me, I need to do something and we can't waste any time. I will follow you, my good friend. Let us follow you together. Is he going to grab some flowers? Yes. I knew it. Because he wants those for Sophia. Very, very careful, no one should notice that. The lady who lives here just arrived and she usually get angry when people mess with her flowers. Like Princess. How lovely, Sophia will love these flowers. Make a bouquet yourself. Explanation Midnight Club. Okay, so we can finally figure out that we can get bouquets from the flowers. Something in these flowers attracts my attention. Try to pick some flowers. Okay. Let us pick... Which was the one with the good old butterfly? This one. No. I'm trying to follow it, but it kind of goes behind some stuff. I think it's this one. Yes. And then we want probably this one on the bottom left here. Perfect. Yeah, okay. That one is ugly. I need to choose better flowers, right? Let's try to pick some flowers now. Yeah, let's get the one with the butterfly on it. I still like that one the best. It goes over to here. Maybe it's the same for this one. And this one. Perfect. Yeah, beauty. I made a beautiful bouquet. Alrighty. Now we can, anyway, time to please someone with this amazing gift. Let us follow Rubio, even though we can't. We'll take a taxi over to the good old Midnight Club. Alrighty, back to downtown, please. Thank you. Okay, and let's run over to the Midnight Club. He's not going to spot Thing anymore because Thing hasn't gone crazy. Yo. Let's eavesdrop on you again, my good friend. Right. Okay. Rubio's here as well. So there might be new dialogue with Rubio present, but otherwise, maybe it's just some more investigate others. So we get to find out Sophia identity. Pretty woman, give you a smile to me. Sophia, I bought you these flowers. I hope they meet your exquisite taste. Are these dahlias by any chance? Precisely, hand-picked from the finest stock. Oh, they're really stunning in that fragrance. Where did you find them? I bought them from Panama, just returned in fact. Amazing, these dahlias are the loveliest I've ever seen. Well then, I think someone just earned a visit backstage. I would like to show you my dahlias, my good friend. Sophia, I bought these flowers for you. Oh, they're gorgeous. Very special, won awards even. Awards, you say? Very well, today 2 fans will have the honour of seeing my dressing room. Oh my god. Security, these 2 gentlemen will accompany me. Let's go with her together. My beloved fans, I promise tonight's performance will be unforgettable. I'll see you inside. Well, we want to find out mostly about her husband. Or her brother. Hello. I wonder what this is. Gifts. Yeah, please don't touch what isn't yours. Oh, it's best if I can look when she's not in here. Alright, so we can have a look when she is out of the room, when she's doing songs, perhaps. Excuse me, ma'am, I need to ask you some questions. And you, Monsieur, who are you? I've never seen your pretty face around here. It's not very pretty, is it? I'm a private detective. I'm investigating Bearz Cubas's death. Do you know anything about it? Kubas, that inconvenient detractor? Know that I don't even suffer a little for his tragic destiny. Some people are like untuned instruments that completely destroy your harmony. Do you have any reason for such repulse? Repulse, monsieur? I am Sophia, and the word repulse is rarely associated with me. Besides, I believe it's your role as a detective investigator, not mine, and I'll never leave my role. However, I admit that I would love to hear more about Kubas's demise. If you'd learned anything, don't hesitate to come and tell me, okay, monsieur? Alright, let's interrogate her. Can I ask you about Christor, my good friend? Your husband? Oh, man, he's no different from any other. He's always worried about his businesses. In the morning he stays at the warehouse, in the afternoon he goes to the fraternity, both at the harbour. So here we get a new location, the harbour. I imagine it's a very busy pace during the day. But many of your fans are men. I imagine your music must have touched them in some way. Well observed, Mr. Detective. I can't complain about my fans, one of them in particular. The name is that's it, Rubiao. Won't believe what he was capable of, I wonder. Yes, Rubiao, what has he done? He taught a lesson to the infamous Bearz Cubist. Really? Okay, what kind of lesson? He punched him. He dismantled his business and even threatened his partner just to defend me. And Mr. Kubas became your husband's business partner? I imagine you didn't like that. Do you think that's just because you've bought me flowers you can promote me with like that, Mr. Detective? But I like to be challenged, so I'll tell you, it's obvious that I didn't jump from joy. But I know that my husband very well. Everything he does is driven by his ego. Alright, how would you rate your marriage? Mr. Detective, can you tell me the reason why people get married? I can't. I wouldn't risk saying it. People marry Mr. Detective because they're tired of romance. Really? Okay. How is Chris related to your career? Much to my folly, Mr. Detective, my husband doesn't interfere with my career in any way. During my shows, he's more interested in trying to find business opportunities than in watching my magnificent performance. I also maybe Chris is the young man in the old audience. Change the subject. Can you tell me about, perhaps, the CD? Mr. Sophia, you certainly know much about music. I found a record somewhere in its sleeve. It was by the mysterious diva. Would you have anything to say about her? So many memories. This singer was a huge inspiration in my career. She is in one of the posters in my green room. What do you have to say about her? A complete artist. For many years she was the most famous voice on the radio, and her songs were always at the top of the charts. Loved by all, from the poorest to the most wonderful and eccentric one, everyone yielded to her talent. I can imagine the uproar. But she, unlike me, didn't care about fame, only her art. Because of that, she never showed her face to the public, preserving her freedom and the possibility of having a normal life in anonymity. Alright, can you tell me about perhaps this midnight club? Some people in the city are staunch clearers of the midnight club. Do you have any comments on this? Foolishness, monsieur, so much foolishness. Doesn't it surprise me that you've encountered this kind of people? Some people barely recognize the place they live in. They can't really see the importance of culture in the city. That fear the power it has, and the fear makes them attack. You tell me, since you seem to have become a regular. Are these criticisms valid? No, not really. I wouldn't say so. It does seem like the criticisms don't have any foundation, but let's proceed. I'm the one asking the questions here. Now I have to perform a show to the city. Excuse me, I'll see you outside. Already I didn't even have time to talk to my diva. Alright, at least I get to hear her angelic voice all night long. Alright, so next time that we're in a green room, we can potentially, we can potentially have a look at that poster and get a picture of, what's his name? Lobo. Good evening, sir. Not now, young man, let me be. If you want to make it hard, find me during the work hours. Preferably at Helena's Cafe in the morning when I'm in a good mood. Alrighty. Okay, so we can't talk to Mr. Thingamajig right now. There's nothing else that we really want to do in the club. I wonder. What's the... Oh, we can go to the harbour now, but we don't really want to go to the harbour right now. What we want to probably do is sneak into the good old person's house while he's not here, the pharmacia, if you would. grab that key if we can. And see what it unlocks. Alrighty. Chris went to the key today, but I wonder I must get here before he does. Right. So he takes the key pretty early on. Right. We haven't got very much time left. So, is there anything else I particularly want to do today? Not really. We could go quickly have a look in the church. Is there anything in here at 11? Andre, talk to me right now. Tell me all your secrets. You got nothing, you got nothing. And you probably don't want to talk about any of my items, right? Alrighty, let's leave. I've already had a look at the brooch here. We need to figure out who to show that brooch to. I've already tried 2 people. There we go, we're fainting. Who would like to see the brooch? Potentially the lady. Alrighty. Well, we've already had this dialogue. Let's talk to him about the person. Oh, Rubia, what to say about you? You have let yourself fall for the enchantments of that fleeting chanteuse, the so-called diva Sophia. Right, Sophia Straw. He worships the very ground she treads upon. He would do anything for her, and as it happens, he did precisely that. He's got devotion. Our enterprise was perfectly poised for success. After all, we had even begun to ruffle the feathers of certain individuals. But Rubio, tisk tisk tisk. Suddenly, on a beautiful day, he decided to terminate the contract. He muttered something about the business taking a direction that no longer sat well with him, or something of the sort. Closed down the company. Naturally, I already know the true reason behind it. A visionary such as myself will always notice such nuances. But Sophia confirmed our suspicions when she said he dismantled his business and threatened his partner just to defend me. Sophia refers to me as Rubea's partner, but that is but a euphemism, as if we're equals. Right, okay, so there's that. I was a true show of the venture. I can hardly fathom that Rubio traded me for some platonic love. Yeah, so that must have been more than platonic. As if that could spare her career from unraveling into nothingness. Could Rubio have any hand in my device, or even could he have been my assassin? Given Rubio's temperament, I'll be quite astonished, but we mustn't rule anyone else, mustn't we? True. And if Rubio is capable of crushing my soul, why then? Would he not also be capable of crushing my body? We proceed with the investigation, detective. So maybe you're involved in Sophia Straw as well, Mr. Bearz. We never know what revelations may lie ahead. Certainly. Let us leave. Can we... Alrighty. There's a couple of things I want to do. I have a feeling if we get the clear though, we won't be able to talk to Lobo. We can try talking to Lobo and then buy the eclair. So let's try that. Because there's some stuff I want to chat with you about. Alrighty. We've talked to him about all the people, but we haven't talked to him about all the clues. Can you tell me about the buzz, my good friend? But issue 1 of the buzz, Mr. Neves. I imagine you have something to say about it, since Bearz is making a direct attack on you. Dear voter, a man like me must be always ready to receive an attack and defend himself from them. So you're scared of the number 13? A vote in Lobo is a vote for readiness. Well, why you bring this up, I thought the buzz was a thing of the past. Anything related to Bearz is relevant to this investigation. Yes, of course, just be careful with what you uncover, eh? A powerful man like me has many people counting on him. People who are capable of anything. So make sure nothing bad happens to me, you hear? Now let's change the subject, my time is too valuable for such cheap assumptions. Well, that's all I wanted to talk to you about, my good friend. I shall take my leave now. But I will be back if I have anything to chat with you about. Right now I'm buying an eclair from this lovely man. Alrighty, so I just want this here eclair. I do not want to give it to Mr. Lobo. Alright, because I want to... Oh, no, never mind. Apparently I will give it to him. Because I'm silly. Can we reset? No. Well, there's other stuff that we can do. And there's other stuff that I wanted to do. Let's get to the docks. Oh, what's Thingamajig doing here? Rubeo. Why, where am I? Yeah, so you wait up at the harbour? Why am I here? In my dream I was walking and then... Was that real? I don't remember what happened. Quintus! I saw Quintus. I need to go home. Where did he see Quintus? Is it perhaps through here? What a beautiful view of the ocean. We have not got a degree yet. Nothing at 120. We could try all the degrees, but, you know, we probably need a number. Although, interesting. What was on the, matchbox? 157. I mean, that's not exactly one that we can see, right? But it would be close to here. Nothing. Alrighty. Well, let's have a run around. See if we can get any information about what exactly things that we're looking for. There's a wooden box here, right? A lion was drawn on this box. And the seagulls are having a field day, so it must be, right. There must be some fish in there. So if we find something that we can get fish out of. What a mess! It seems to me this mailbox fed worse in a fight. What's in here? Grey warehouse. According to Sophia, this is where I'll be able to talk to Chris. Yeah, let's enter. This is Chris. Yeah, so he is the guy at the good old club. I was told Chris Bohar may be around here. May I speak to him? Who are you? What do you want from me? Yeah, there we go. So he's the same guy, the gentleman at the bar. Not as true as I expected. Mr. Chris, I'm a private detective and I'm investigating the death of Bearz, your associate. I have a few questions for you. Detective, eh? I didn't know that was an actual job. Of course it is. Speaking of jobs, can't you see I'm busy with my legal work? We real entrepreneurs must never stop. Work while they sleep. Travail à deux, as the French say. I promise I'll be quick, Mr. Chris. I'm curious to see where this is going, so I'll allow your interruption. Go on then, ask! Alrighty, I will ask, my good friend. Don't need to yell at me. Tell me about yourself. Oh no, tell me about Sophia. Can you tell me about your wife, Sophia Straw? My wife and I have a perfect relationship, see? I can say she has everything any woman could want. I never let her go without anything. So, Mrs. Sophia is happy? Well, she should be, shouldn't she? I don't know. I can't be with her every minute of every time. But why wouldn't she be? She has the very best. She's fully entitled to enjoy that little hobby of hers as a singer at the Midnight Club as she well wishes. Well, I'll probably see you there tonight, my good friend. Let's talk about the late Bearz, Mr. Chris. What was your relationship with the victim? My relationship with Bearz was strictly commercial. If you need information on a personal level, why not go to one of his relatives? Thank you for the tip. And what was this business of yours? I can't say, Detective. This information is under a confidential agreement. And as you know, as an entrepreneur, I follow laws and rules to a fault. Really, not all entrepreneurs do that, my good friend. Tell me about you, Mr. Christopher. What do you want to know about me, Detective? As a businessman, time is precious. Time, Detective, is money. Le temps, c'est de l'argent. Where were you at the time of Bearz's murder? Were you at the club? I heard he was killed at night, wasn't he? If that's the case, I spent the entire night with my wife, Sophia Straw, in one of my many businesses, the Midnight Club. I'll speak to your wife then. I'm sure she'll approve your alibi. If she's not too busy with her career, then yes, I'm sure she will. Why do you hate your wife's career so much? You afraid that she's going to make more money than you? What do you do that is so valuable? Can you be more specific, my good friend? People like me excel at whatever they do, Detective. I doubt that's true. I belong to a world of sharks and lions. I'm a shark lion, the most daring one of all. And what does that mean? I'm not sure I follow you. What is a shark lion? Being a doer is what I'm known for. People know that when I start something, I finish it. Like this conversation. Right. Let's change the subject. Can I ask you about the Bearz plaster? Mr. Chris, you and Bearz were business partners? Trading a set in plaster, maybe? Detective, this matter is as dead as Bearz. Big wigs like me think outside the box. We're visionaries. We think big with our wigs. Do you understand me? Take a look at my case. I have a very valuable shipment coming in today. A shipment? What's in it? Well, that's none of your business. I take care of my affairs, and you do whatever it is your lot do. Racist. You're a detective, aren't you? Didn't you notice that mess in front of my warehouse? Maybe someone got mad about some mail delay and put it on the poor box. Is that how you make a living as a detective? Throwing out ridiculous guesses until something sticks? Pretty much. It's been working so far. Sure, you're not even close. Actually, that was the aftermath of a brawl between the troublemaker Bearz and his fixed old brother-in-law, Cottram. They threw punches at each other. Really? My bill sent to those involved, or rather to the one that's left, Cottram. Wait a second, this Cottram is Bearz's brother-in-law? Cottram, he's married to Bearz's sister. But ask me for details on how this so-called miracle happened. Here at the harbour, he's my manager, and also the one in charge of fixing that whole clowneries with my mailbox. So he is the manager of the dock. Good to know. Well, we know Cottram. We've seen him before. I think someone's going to have to manage some answers. Good one. And why were they fighting in the first place? Why would I know the reason those poor-minded people were at each other's throats? How is he your manager? I have no idea, but something caught my attention. At the end of the fight, Cottram threatened to kill Bearz. I feel like I'm surrounded by savages. Probably true. Cottram seemed resentful, but honestly, so what have they fought? People like me, who know what they want in life, are always fighting for their goals. So, Monsieur, my shift is over, and so is yours. Let's get moving. Right, you're kicking me out, I see. Let's talk to Cottram while we're here. I'll eavesdrop on him. Let's see what he's saying. Finally, it was about temps. What are you waiting for? Get your troglodytes to work. I know what needs to be done. The merchandise will be taken to the warehouse. Parfait. I want everything unloaded before some rubberneck gets here. Yes, I'll get it over with quickly. Spoiled stuffed shirt. Right, so that's Cottram. Do we get to label him now? Cottram, can I shelter you? If that's me, who wants to know? There we go, we identified you. I see subtlety is not your forte, my good friend. We're all speaking French today. Mr. Cottram, I'm a private detective. I am investigating the death of a distinguished citizen of Rio de Janeiro. What do I have to do with that? My investigations led me to believe that maybe you have the information that can help me. You mind answering a few questions, good sir? What if I don't want to? Well, you have to. I can be very insistent, Mr. Cottram, unlike you, I have to say. You won't get rid of me that easily. Alright, let's get this over with. Alrighty, let's interrogate Mr. Cottram. Tell me about Bearz, your brother-in-law. What can you tell me about the deceased Bearz? We are, or were, brothers-in-law. I'm still not used to his death. Like any family, we had disagreements, but we got on well most of the time. Disagreements like the one in front of Mr. Straw's warehouse? That's just another of our little quarrels. I said disagreements. And who doesn't? You're going to tell me you've never argued with a relative? Even with my wife Sabina, sometimes we have disagreements. Really, you're married to Sabina. Bearz was a tough nut. Negotiating with him meant you for sure were going to lose in some way. It was like that with the cutlery, the jewels, the house. So the disagreements involve money. And which ones don't? Although with Bearz, everything was a problem, not just money. It was the same with romance. The ladies always ended up getting the short end of the stick because of its weight. He didn't know in which bunda he kept his sausage. No, a little Sakuno-esque. What does that mean? Some years ago I was making eyes at my niece. I sent him running. A niece, eh? About yesterday's ball with Bearz. What about it? You're going to charge me for damages to that mailbox? Boxes are things. Things break. Especially that one, which was made of some pretty shoddy material. Did you make it yourself? I'm more interested in what led you to break that box in the first place. Bearz and I fought. It happens sometimes. We settle things like that. And is it true that in this night you threatened Bearz's life? Yes, but I'm not very good at keeping my promises. If I were, I wouldn't have the problems I have. Alrighty, let's change the subject. Can you tell me about Sabina, your wife? I don't know if I have much to say. We've been married for so long that I can't even remember how it was before. I'm going to show you the necklace. Did you get along well? The work at the harbour is very tough. I have very little time to do stuff at home. I'm always trying to give her the life she deserves, financially speaking. But for a economer like me, it's hard to please someone born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Right, yeah, I'll show you the thingamajig later. Can you tell me about Vigilia? What does Mr. Contrim have to say about her? She and Bearz knew each other very well. If it was for me, things would be easier now. If it wasn't for her, Bearz and I wouldn't have argued yesterday. And why do you say that? You know about the little discussion I had with Bearz yesterday, right? It was about Vigilia. Let's say that Vigilia was one of the main subjects discussed. Oh, I see. Interesting. What is your relationship with Vigilia? Do you want to be with her? Something to tell me about Chris Straw, my good friend? He's a man with vision, really. We're walking together on a revolutionary adventure. Is your relationship good? Working with him is not easy. He's bossy and he's always on my back about the stuff here at the harbour. But it comes with the job. Can you make an omelette without breaking some eggs? You can't. Well, you certainly can. Could you tell me a bit more about yourself? Talk about me. I'm an ordinary person, just like anybody else. You don't need to diminish yourself, Mr. Cochrane. You're quite strong, you're quite smart. I'm sure you have plenty to spare. Even if I did, what makes you think I would want to do it with you? Well, that's true. Can you tell me about the plaster, my good friend? Can you tell me about the plaster? Plaster? I don't know. What's that? It's a vial, more or less the size of my palm. It could be any medicinal tonic or drink. You know, there are many of those around, sure. The people selling them are making some good money. That's true. But they're not making very good money on this one in particular. Let me leave. Let's see you around, detective. No, I will see you around. 2 days accident free, eh? Only 2 days. I better watch my step. Also, doesn't the mailbox count as an accident technically? Where does this go? I wonder. A broom as well. This can be useful. Well, I don't know what for, but at least we've got it. There's a lighthouse. Nothing too interesting over here. But maybe we can see 3 days without accidents. He's updated it. And we can listen to this eavesdrop conversation here. Contrim, your wife called and said you must meet her at the White Mansion. I know. So much fuss about that damn key. Right, we already knew that. We can show Contrim the key. That might be a good idea. He might be able to... the fret. Mr. Chris, could we have another conversation? You again go on out with your questions while I wait for these wonder bags to let me through. Alrighty, can I talk to you about good old Contrim, my good friend? You know Mr. Contrim really well, don't you? As well as an employer can know their employees. He's a hard worker, resilient. Not so great at making decisions, but there's nothing too big on his daily tasks. I see, what about Contrim the person? As opposed to Contrim the employee. Detective, beyond my many important businesses, I have no interest in people whatsoever. You have to get to know Contrim through somebody else. Oh, and what businesses are those again? I don't wish to trouble your limited mind with such instinctive descriptions of my revenue sources, Detective. Another time, maybe. Yes, another time. What can you tell me about Mr. Rubeo? Rubeo? Oh yes, Rubeo. He's an old-time friend. Really? A very lucky man who got rich overnight, really. Well, we knew that. He knew he never fought for his fortune, you know? If even the smallest can achieve success, imagine what the big ones can do. Those who are prepared for every opportunity. Sure. Are you sure you consider him a friend? Few strong words to scare you, Detective. I see some of them in you, your weakness. Some people are unstable and get carried away by their emotions. And you think that's true of Rubeo, eh? Interesting. Is that how you see Rubeo? Sure, it's not my usual, but I have been sort of worried about Rubeo after everything that has happened. Actually, I took the liberty to tell him that myself. How so? Could you be more specific? Oh no, the only person I need to justify myself to is myself. Everything I have to say to him is in that letter I sent him. A letter, eh? Yeah, he must have gotten it already. It must be in the mailbox. But Rubio being who he is, he must have forgotten to check his mail. That's likely. Yeah, I've seen his mail. Time's up now. Go bother someone else. Au revoir. Can we have a look at the fraternity? We have not got a membership. Yet. Oh, okay. It's just garbage. I won't skip into this one either. Alrighty. Yeah, but it's an out-of-place trash can. We need to look into it. Can we use the broom on this? No? Okay. Good, the lion is more visible now. Can we draw the lion, or...? Right, maybe we need to learn about the lions. But at least that's handy. We probably need to go to the Nobles Park. Let's quickly go to here, grab this. Search for Chris's letter. According to Chris, I'll be able to find his letter in this pile. Nothing that a minor offense can't resolve. Let's see, what have we got here? There's a letter from Ruber's parents. They're worried about him not writing them. How sad. Next pile. Letters, and more letters. From Chris Straw. Finally. Dear Rubio, I come to express my concern due to the recent incidents that have taken place in the city, especially the ones I have witnessed. I don't mean to speculate on the important impact of the failure of your last venture on your mental and financial health, but it's a fact that I saw you last night roaming around the streets downtown. And though there was little light, I'm sure it was you. Remember, the same good luck that has put you in the right place at the right time, making an ear out of you, can all act the opposite way. P.S. Don't play with your luck. Signed, Chris Dorr. Is this what Chris calls concern? Yeah, it's very sharp, isn't it? I bet Rubio hasn't shaked his mouth for a few days, so render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, I guess? Yeah, so show him. Yeah, what are you doing, Crispin? Okay, right, yeah, stop lying, my good friend, stop lying. I'm coming to grab these, flowers. Or... it gets easier after the first one. Oh, okay, so you can just keep the flowers now. Let us go to the place with the thing. Let's go quickly to downtown. Though probably by the time I get there it'll be too late. But that's alright, we can have a look. And see if we can give these flowers. Ah, right. I'm loaded as protege. Right, there we go. We've got the password now. She's not here yet. Right, we need a key. Perhaps the key is the one that Crispin has. What else can we do today? Well, we know that Thingamajig is in the house, but we haven't given her the key, so she'll be just like, yeah, I don't want to talk tonight. We could go quickly have a chat with the priest. And see if we've got anything to have a chat with him. Can I perhaps ask you about nothing? Can I perhaps show you this here prize-winning flower? Or this here broom? Right, okay. Well, we could actually just quickly go grab this. And grab the necklace. Then we could quickly run over to the good old docks and see if we can give this, not to the docks, to the house. And see if we can give this to the brute, whatever his name is. Because he's over here, right? By the house. Trying to break in. No. Okay. I thought he was, but perhaps he's gone back to the docks. Docks. So we're going to be like 10 minutes to run down to wherever he is. Quickly, quickly, quickly. No! But that was interesting, wasn't it? We saw Vigilia there at the harbour. Alrighty, well, we've certainly got very much interesting stuff. Let's go talk to Bearz about this new stuff. What? Who are we investigating? Cottram. We certainly are. Are you sure he's worth the effort of this investigation? I am sure. The fellow is dumb as a brick and is barely worth one. He won't have the audacity to murder me. You meet Chris Straw, who works at the harbour with Cottram. They're co-workers. What did Chris Straw witness as worthy of our investigation? The fact that you fought Cottram. Oh, that fight. Know that I'm a extremely virile and pretentious man. Such a legged brute couldn't hurt me if they tried. I can't say the same about that mailbox at the docks. It's the type of collateral damage that people with no control of their own strength are doomed to burden the world with. At the end of the fight, Cottram threatened to kill Bearz. I feel like I'm surrounded by savages. I share the same feeling sometimes, dear Chris. But back to the case. If Chris, colleague of Cottram, snitched on him like that, but he didn't even try to protect him, maybe they're not so friendly. Well, he's right. Cottram did threaten to kill me. So that was true. On that note, let's not roll Cottram out yet. When threatened, irrational animals are capable of surprising feats, aren't they? That's true. And if he threatened to kill me, we can't rule him out that fast. Continue to investigate Cottram, detective. Who knows what we might find? Certainly. And what else can I tell you about good old Rubio? A new development in Rubio's case. On one side we have Chris, someone said to be completely driven by a reason who claims to be a business eagle. Right. On the other we have Rubio, an amiable person, sentimental, driven by emotions more often than by reason. This is the kind of combination that makes no sense to me. How can two men, so different from each other, be friends? That's true. They're not really friends, are they? Even more so with Chris's sharp tongue when referring to his friend. Some people are unstable and get carried away by their emotions, and that's certainly true of Rubio. Could Chris be aware of something of Rubio's nature that we're not? Something hidden behind the surface of a man who appears calm? That's true. Chris mentioned a letter detective in which he supposedly expressed his concerns about Rubio. What's behind that supposed concern Chris has for Rubio? We're the only ones who can unravel this plot. Well, we certainly have got the letter. Find this letter, my dear investigator. Rubio may be more of a suspect than we originally thought. I found the letter. I'm chatting with people about it now. Come on, detective, cheer up. I've always believed in your potential, even if I don't show it sometimes. Well, certainly you do, certainly. We've got many things to do. We can try a clear strat again. Let's go do a clear strat right now. Grab you. Let us. Perfect. We would like to keep this one, my good sir. Thank you. I'll give you one tomorrow morning, I promise. Actually, I probably won't. I probably need to not do any clear related business tomorrow morning, so you will be out of luck, my good friend. Right, we've already eavesdropped on this, but we will do it again just so that we can skip time. There we go. Because we need to give Crispin the jelly. There we go, let's give him the jelly now. Let's show him this good old calculator clear. And clear for me, but how did you manage? I guess it doesn't matter, you have 1 year of free medicine, my boy. If it's an inconvenience, can I ask another favour? Keep an eye on the shop while I leave very briefly for a trip to Esca's Paradise. Yep, perfect. I will let you, and I will open the counter, and I will grab your key. Right. I wonder where it opens. I certainly know. Let's close this counter up. Well, actually, let's just go. We don't need to do that. We got many things to do right now. Let's quickly grab a taxi over to Nobel's Park. And open up this here gate. Because this will open up, right, this door. Not that, though, I think, yeah, she'll be here right now. Yeah. Yeah. So we need to knock on the door first, or wait till she leaves. But at least we know what it does now, right? So let's quickly do that. But wait until what have you got to say, Bearz? Ah, my dear detective, life is much like a game, is it not? But be warned, do not grow too excited. You're not the one in control. You are but a humble pawn on this vast cosmic board. Reality, in its somewhat ironic generosity, does offer you some choices, yes, but in the end, the rules are set up by others. It's much like those complex board games where one believes to make critical decisions, when in truth everything has already been written. The great question that haunts me in these posthumous musings is this: is there a great game master or god, or is it the work of a mad algorithm? It's actually the work of several developers in Brazil. Well, should you happen to find out, do me the favor of letting me know, will you? Some kind of Spanish-speaking country, anyway. There we go. We're back. Perfect. Let's run out. Who else can we have a check? Oh, well, let's do a clear strat again. We now know what the clear door opens, so... Quickly, mate. I want a clear. I want a... Yeah. I will keep that clear, my good friend. I would like also to grab a cheese bread, but I will not grab a coffee. I'm going to try getting the key and giving it to, what's his name, the husband. So let's try that. Let's give these guys the cheese bread. There we go. Have this cheese bread on your tab. Let's quickly go grab the key. All right. We don't want that. It's the plaster. Right, drink the plaster. Let's go into the pharmacy. Give this guy. Oh, actually, let's come over to here. Let's quickly go to the church. Let's go grab this. Now, we've got a whole bunch of stuff to show to good old, what's his face? The husband. So let's go quickly to the harbour. Quickly wander down. My good friend, I would like to give you a whole bunch of stuff. Can I show you the silver necklace? Actually, I'll show you this. A key with a lion head. Why are you offering me this? Isn't it useful to you? Funny, my wife is looking for a key just like this one. I found it in the alley where Bearz was found dead. Then you can keep it, buddy. I'd rather she be furious at me than have the police find me with an incriminating object. Fair enough, my good friend. Fair enough. I stream Cotron, what can you tell me about this object here? What does this necklace tell you? Humph. What? Yeah, what are you doing with my wife's necklace? I knew it. I'll break you in half. It's a donation to the church. The church? Yes, Padre Cabal's congregation. She made this generous donation to his parish. Would you know who? I know very well who it was. I'll spare you from the punches you deserve, for now. Can't say the same about that shabby priest. You going after him at the church? You bet just waiting until I'm done with my shift. Right. Can we wait along with you, my good friend? There we go. Let us follow you to the church. Let's go to downtown. And let's take the big run. Yeah, here he is. Well, we slightly beat him to it. Alrighty. I knew it. Alright, there we go. Let's eavesdrop on this while we're here. Listen here, you old priest. What's my wife's necklace doing in your position, huh? Mr. Cockram, Sabina's donations are from the heart. She's always praying for you. Praying? I don't need any of that. Sabina prays for your prosperity. And if you forgive me for saying so, she also prays that you give up gambling. Well, she has a point. Are we in trouble because of the bets? Yes. Have we been drifting apart because of this habit of mine? For sure. Tell me more. I'm the one responsible for our situation, there's no denying it. But you know how this works, I just need one bet to hit, just one. What happens to your marriage until then? Very well, Padre, whatever. I'm not going to blame you for Sabina's donation, but listen closely. Be very careful about the gifts that your church takes. Oh, I see. God bless you. No, so they did not have a fight after all. But what happens? Padre Cabal, forgive my intrusion, but what is Miss Kubas's necklace doing among the church donations? Sabina, she has an unshakable faith even when things seem impossible. Sometimes she's assists in reminding me of her hopes. How can I say no to someone with such devotion? This gift, like many others, reflects what's in her heart, despite lacking some sense. Unlike her brother, she's a devoted visitor to this church. She even donated a check for a sizable amount. A shame it turned to be a bad check. Interesting. Let's him with who is without sin cast the first stone. A bad check, huh? Guess it's not all roses after all, not even for the Kubases. Bad chick, eh? Can we talk to her? But I don't know where she is at the moment. She's probably at her house. I will rescue you at some stage. My good friend, the key would have already been stolen. She's already started performing. Is there anything else I can really do? Not particularly. Let's go to the harbour. No, I don't really have anything to do at the harbour. Let's go to Nobles Park. I don't really have anything to do here either. But I do know that, what's his name is looking, right? Right, he steals a bunch of stuff. You think of travelling, Mr. Crispin? Oh, my young man, you haven't seen me here, got it? Yes, he rubs. Wait, where are you going? Not now, I have to go before it's too late. Right, so he robbed something from the Neves Manor during the night. So that's what we need when we're there. We've also got, the brass. We can knock on the door right now, but, yeah. Yeah, so we need it. So we can't actually give it to the man. Is there anyone else that we can ask for right now? Or nobody's answering, right? Okay. So this must be where Sabina lives, I think. Not Sabina. The other one, the dancer, the straws. I think they must live there. Alright, let's do this. Let's analyze our progress on Sabina's file, shall we? Let's do it. We now hold our hands in a secret confession from a holier man, or at least he ought to be. Padre Cabal. Actually, according to Padre Cabal, these donations that Virgilia spoke of involve some valuable possessions of the Cubas's family. Is that correct? Yes, certainly. Sabina donated a precious necklace to that secondary excuse of a place. Goodness, and it gets worse. She also donated a bad chick. Had insult to injury as if it wasn't enough to get rid of her family valuables. Sabina went and wrote a bad check to the church for $100 too. Ha 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 ha. Writing bad checks, Miss Kubas. People will believe we are broke. Well, she is, I think. No wonder everyone's on edge. Cockrum, her husband, is now picking fights with the city press. Well, he's a gambler. Alright, this has gone too far. What is Sabina thinking? Virgilia was right to expose her. If you want to impress your priest, at least make it classy. But the West pastors happen to listen to this. How can I say no to someone with such devotion? That crook doesn't even give a damn about my sister, and now he's trying to take advantage of the situation. Oh, if someone were to do something. But let us return to what truly matters, the investigation of my distinguished demise. Could it be that Sabina bribed Padre Cabal, showering him with gifts and stuffing his pockets, or at least trying to? Could that be the prize for something the priest may have done? Or perhaps a prize for the silence of a man who is a walking vault, holding every confession and secret of Rio de Janeiro? We must press on this clue. There's something there, detective. We certainly will press on this clue, my good friend. But for now, we are leaving. We need to do a couple of things yet. Let us quickly run and do a whole bunch of stuff. Go to Helena's Cafe even. Grab an eclair. I always want an eclair, my friend. Right. I would also like a cheese bread. I was just thinking whether we should or not. But I think I would like a cheese bread. So... it is quite nice to be able to investigate the alley when we don't have to wait for her to get home. There's nothing too much at home other than the head though. And she's very interested in the head, but we can't really investigate the head. We tried it when she was home earlier and it didn't work. Because the detective knows less than I do. But that's fine, because this detective is written to know less than I do. Like, he's a stupid guy. This is totally fine. That's kind of in his writing, right? There we go. Let's grab the Kubas's manor. Let's go give this to her. Yes, I am from the newspaper. Can I show you this item, my good friend? Right, there we go. She is now in the manor. And we need to be able to party with her. Can I also talk to you, my good friend, about Cottram, your husband? Tell me about your husband, Cottram. Tell what? He's not one of the most interesting people. I heard about a fight between him and the deceased. By the Holy One, this city is populated by gossipers. Please don't bother yourself with it. It's part of my job. Unfortunately, the two of them could only communicate like that. A disgrace. I don't completely blame Cochran because he's nothing but a simpleton. As for Bearz, he should better represent the family name. Not by chance, I myself had my own disagreement with Bearz. Sibling stuff, you know? I see, so it was something irrelevant. Well, yes, we only stayed a few years without talking to each other. You said years? Years, months anyway. Who pays attention to these details? What matters is that Cochran at great expense was able to speak with Bearz and put an end to all of this. Although Bearz punished him by imposing a miserable job on him at the harbour. The harbour! What an insult. What did Cochran think of the job? Did he also see it as a punishment? Who knows? Cochran was always full of Bearz because of Eva. If he accepted sacrificing himself in manual labour, it was because he was over it. Here's Eva. Eva? Who's that? Oh, Eva, poor girl. Bearz treated her little heart so badly. Eva is Cochran's niece, and she and Bearz dated for a while. I always supported them, unlike Cochran. And then suddenly Bearz stopped coming to their meetings and vanished from her life. My brother knew how to hurt people when he wanted to. And Eva, how was she? I'm sorry about the yawning, bloody hell. Bad, poorly bad. I imagine she just always has resentments towards him. No wonder she hates my brother Bearz these days. It's not the game, I'm just tired. One more person that resents my client. I think I need to meet her as soon as possible. Hat Lady. Ah, we have seen Hat Lady before, have not. At the time, Cochrane got furious about it all, and because of that, he distanced himself from Bearz. Tell me about Cochrane and Bearz. How was their relationship? They both have their own language for solving conflicts. It wasn't the most gentlemanly way, if you know what I mean. You mean beating each other up? Don't be so vulgar. Fights are common in all families, but Cochrane will never hurt Bearz. Accidents happen, though. What's important is that it was resolved. Cochrane now even has a job! While the other is dead. Let's change the subject. Can we talk... Well, we'll talk about Eva later. I want to talk about this bank first. I'm sorry if I've been indiscreet, but I heard that you're having financial problems. Is that true? Oh, how absurd. You shouldn't believe in gossip, especially a journalist as yourself. What do you say about the bad check donated to the church? Bad check? That's my husband's doing, that brainless brute. And you? What's your interest in that? Do you want me to put a bad light in front of society? I don't know and don't want to know how you got that info, but if you dare to publish this, know that you'll have the best lawyer at your door by tomorrow morning. Let's end this subject. Alrighty, I will. I will talk to you about Eva, however. Can you tell me about Eva? What's it like to be her aunt? Does she need to get into the Evangelion? Ha ha ha, don't be foolish. Eva is not my niece. She doesn't have the Cubus's noble blood, or is she going to let stingy inside of her? She is, in reality, only Cochrane's niece, the daughter of his deceased brother. May he rest in peace. Poor girl lost her father to all that smoke from the factory's furnaces. Tragic, just like misery. It mustn't be easy. No, even more after the end of her relationship with my brother. Do and Eva get along? Well enough, though she's not a Cubus and doesn't behave herself like a lady. Who's ever heard of those pants she wears? Besides, I don't understand why she's always making trouble with those neighbors. Actually, remove this statement of mine. I don't want to be associated with such themes. Well, tell me more about your relationship between Eva and Bearz. Well, yes, I found it cute. It was a chance to turn her into a respectful lady. The Cochrane has always been against it. But it was short in the end. It was so sudden, poor girl. Now she could be Bearz's heir. Actually, it was better that they broke up. Right, because you want the money to go to yourself. Right. Let's see. Let me leave. Yeah. I will spread the news. I promise. I'll spread the news when I find out that you did it. Cochrane, can I have your key, my good friend? I would like... Well, actually, is there anything I can interrogate you about first, my good friend? Yes, I can interrogate you about the ghost of Princess. Some witnesses told they saw a phantom, Mr. Crispin. A ghost in the form of Princess Bulba. A ghost? Oh, you're trying to scare me. Enough with this foolishness already, lad. I don't have time to worry about spirits. My business is with the living. And how to keep them alive, which is not always easy. Right, okay. So he does not know much about it. Well, I would like to interrogate you, my good friend, about eclairs. Let me show you this item. And I would like to steal your key, my good friend. No, I said open the counter, grab the key. There we go. Shoink. Let's run back to the Neves relation mansion. Yeah, sure. Sure, why not? Let's quickly listen in and see if there's anything here. Anyone here at the moment? Nobody's answering. Okay, let's try to open in that case with the key to the Neves Manor. Right. Now there should be no one in here. Embroidery, candelabra marble, linen court curtains. Right. Now I'll find out why these curtains are closed. This is what I really want. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. What is this on the floor? These are travel suitcases and they seem to be packed. Who do they belong to? Crispin, he's taking them either. Takes very differently of Bearz. Maybe she's just trying to hide them behind the curtains. Right, so she's leaving her husband. Looks like they've been recently packed, and her cousin is coming with her. Perhaps. We've had a look at this before. Oh, yeah. And we've had a look at this before. So we can just leave now. We've gotten what we want to from that. Let's go grab some flowers while we're here. Now, can we talk to you? Or are you not here at the moment? No, you are here? Alrighty. I would like to talk to you about many things. Because I think that you can talk to me. Okay. Mr. Rubio, do you ever receive a great deal of correspondence? Maybe? I'm not sure what a great deal means. I must confess that I'm not used to being in charge of this residence, and I forget to check stuff like that. That's okay. I've heard about the content of a certain letter that Chris Shaw allegedly wrote to you. A letter? My God, I haven't talked to my friend Chris in a long time. I hope he's fine. Woof woof. It seems that worry is mutual. Or almost mutual. Chris said he saw you wandering downtown last night. He said you looked, let's say, out of your mind. Me? Downtown? Officer, I don't remember any of that. Was it last night? Woof. According to Chris in his letter, yes. I really can't remember. Did I? Did I take the right medication? Quintus, do you remember that? He does not. I don't think he does either. Look, officer. Mr. Crispin, the pharmacist. He the trembling man, you know, I do know. A while ago I went to him and set up a medication to be delivered daily. Ah, I see. Is this medication working at all? Would you like to go to talk to him? Crispin is probably the right person to clear this up, I agree. We'll see, Mr. Rubio. My goodness, what a shame. What would my dear Sophia think of me, if she knew? Let's talk to you about the medicine. Mr. Rubio, about your orders for medication. The ones you placed with Crispin, what did you have to say about them? The order? Ah, yes, of course, the order. What I can tell you is that it's a recurring order that I placed with them. But you know I can't be sure if they arrived yesterday. Woof woof. No consequences. The consequences won't be that serious, I guess. Alrighty, well. That's all I want to talk to you about for now, my good friend. Now there's a Quintus Bulbits right there. Can we grab this? Yeah, even though Mr. Bulber is no longer with us, I decided to keep it hanging in the same place. It's a perfect portrait, don't you think? There we go. We can update his face. Don't even know Quintus in the flesh, so of course, why not? Is there an interesting story behind this photograph? Not really, officer. It's just a photograph. I'm far from an expert, but I think this portrait captures Quintus Bulber's essence, his quintessence, perhaps. I like what you did there, my good friend. I feel as if he's never actually left us. That is the power of art. At least that's what they say. They? Who? Who? I don't know. I just said it because I wanted to sound smart. Not for any particular other reason. Let's taxi away now to perhaps the harbour. Perhaps. Right, there's this guy. I would like to interrogate you, my good friend, about this particular letter. About the content of your letter to Rubio. You have absolutely no business here. You sound resentful. And it sounds to me like that we have a male thief at large. But I believe this is your job, isn't it? It certainly is. I'll tell you this, everything in that letter is nothing but the honest consent of one friend to another. I see. So you must be a very trustworthy friend. Time's up now, go bother someone else. Au revoir. It's me, Crystal. Really? Okay, so this guy is the guy that is like, yo, you smacked my wife. What about you? Have you got anything to say to me, my good friend? Right, can I interrogate you about Eva? Let's talk about Eva. What do you have to say about her? Eva is my little girl. Ever since she lost her dad, I take care of her as if she were my own daughter. We all need someone to call father or daddy. Now I'd like to know about some other things. Confirm. About Eva? What do you want to know? Tell me more about your relationship. I don't see her so frequently. I'm very busy, she's very busy. That she was involved in that mess that's taking place at the industrial block, a new location. Perfect. Let's go there later. I kept telling her not involved in the strike stuff. Who wouldn't say she's part of the strikes? But does she listen to me? No. Alright, how was your relationship with Bearz? Tell me about the relationship. That relationship had everything to end in disaster. I had to end it before the worst happened. And what would that be? I convinced Bearz to bail out. And Bearz listened to you. Doesn't sound much like him. Bearz could be so many things, but he could recognize he wasn't a good match for anyone. Right, so Crispin convinced Bearz to be with it, or leave Eva. Mr. Cockrum, it came to my attention that your wife Sabina made a donation through a bad check. I suppose your family's savings is a subject you're on par with. What do you care about my financial situation, huh? My investments are me and my wife's business. But apparently they're not going so great, right? If only Bearz wasn't so stingy with the inheritance division, we won't be in this situation. And I wouldn't have wanted to run after alternative ways of making quick money. Curse those silver cutlery. What will he use them for now? To eat worm spaghetti? You said cutlery? Yes, they're part of the Cubis's family inheritance. They're of great value, and that's how the division of assets started to take a bad course. Okay, we can ask people about the silver cutlery. Who would think that kitchenware would bring such discord? But that doesn't matter anymore. Now I think Sabina will have what she deserves. She needs to go back to her society because that's where she came from. Oh, why am I even telling you this? Done with my shift finally. I have to take care of my own business. One more workday is over. Right. Let's quickly go to chat with Kubases. Yeah, okay, let's interrogate him about clues. No. About items? Yes. Tell me about these flowers. Tell me about this key. Alrighty, bye. See you later, mate. Let's quickly take the bus, the taxi. But we don't want it to the industrial box, we're going to the downtown. We're going to quickly go see, yeah, I know. Go away. I'm trying to get your medicine. Club isn't open yet. Right, she's going to come right about now, right? Is she? Or very soon. Here she is, yeah. Perfect. Let's have a chat with her. Let's show her the flowers. And yeah, we can go have a chat. Yes, Sophia. I would like to go straight to the point. Tell me about all your stuff. Can you tell me about this letter that your husband Crystal showed concern about Mr. Rubeo? You haven't sent him a letter. Chris is concerned about something that isn't his work? What foolishness! Well, the contents of the letter seem more like a lecture than friendly advice. Tisk tisk tisk. It's just like Chris to this spill a moral speech to feel superior. I know my husband very well. Everything he does is driven by his ego. From his manner of speech, trying to sound sophisticated to the way he chooses his business partners, often disregarding what's morally right. Are you willing to accuse your husband? An accuse? No, you silly, I'd never. Let's say I'd teach him a lesson for having teamed up with Bearz. I'm sure his warehouse at the harbour should contain something to achieve my goal. Warehouse? And how would I do that? Do you have the keys? Oh la la, do you want me to do all the work for you? I don't have the keys, but I know Chris hides an emergency crowbar right by those cranes at the harbour. That's the best I can do for you, mon cher. Right, that's very handy to know, thank you. I will talk to you about Bearz. Can we talk about the deceased Bearz? What was your relationship with him? Bearz said character. A hard, complicated, underhanded character. I've never met him in person. I've seen him around, read his texts, but that's all. He doesn't seem to have an ounce of music in his veins. Didn't know that they had cell phones back then. How are your investigations going, Mr. Detective? Do you have a suspect yet? The detective always has many suspects, Mrs. Sophia. Do you have any specific interest in the investigation, considering your low regard for the victim? I'm only a woman in tune with what's happening around me, Detective. Whoever was responsible had a win over Bearz. It's not everyone that can say that about themselves. Well, let's talk to you about Rubio. He's a big fan of yours. What can you tell me about him? We can talk about Rubio, Victor, Natalia, Leandro, Panelo, Felipe, Bruno, and so on. Do you get it? I have so many followers, Mr. Detective. Oh yes, let's talk about Rubio. He's a very dear fan of mine. He's been following my career from the start. Do you know each other well? Yes, of course. Always very obliging. He helped me deal with my most staunch critics. How noble of him, huh? And does Rubio ever get something out of it? Oh, mon cher, you ask too many questions. Why don't we talk about something more interesting? You have a formidable woman in front of you and you talk about forgettable men. I'm a detective, Mrs. Sophia. I can't let myself get distracted from my case. Anything else on Rubio? Seems like you should be more interested in him, seeing how much he's interested in you. What I have to say to you about him, I already did, mon cher. And I think I did too much. Right, well, I can finally talk to you about yourself. Which seems to be your favourite subject? Tell me a bit about yourself, Miss Sophia Straw. Who are you? Very well, mon cher. Sophia by Sophia. What can I tell you about me that you can't find in the newspapers and magazines? Music has always been something natural for me. Since I've started singing with the groups, I found myself answering a calling. A natural talent. I imagine your success was immediate then. I wish. It was only when I recorded my first record that my career really took off. This doesn't surprise me. I knew that when people could all take me to their homes, no one would let the opportunity slip. Would you let it slip, mon cher? I don't have a good ear for music. Ha ha ha. I'd say the critics also don't. They don't have the courage to reject me, but they never cared much about me either. But what do critics know? Music is not meant to be analysed, but felt. Many things in life are just a matter of feelings. Isn't that right, detective? That's true. Now I have to perform a turn to the city. Excuse me, I'll see you outside. Well, fair. Alrighty, well, I won't see you outside, my good friend. I need to run. I need to quickly run. Not to the Nevez's house, I've got everything I need out of there. But I would like to run over to somewhere. Right, we need to see Eva. Right, we still got that. Yes. Sophia hiding inside a dressing room. Right, we need access to Sophia. What is this, and why is it related to the part? Which one of the cranes is that crowbar hidden? Right. What will happen when Sabina gets hold of the Kubas Maneki? Well, we've had a look. I think that she takes the head stuff, right? We can go quickly and have a look. Let's go to Nobel's Park now, right? Because we did do that earlier. Let's go have a chat with we met earlier, right? Because she does want this head. right? Or is it this? No. So she hasn't got anything to talk about apart from the head. Alrighty. Well, I think I've already asked you everything, but just... Oh no, I haven't asked you about the Cubas family estate yet. Very well, Mr. Journalist. But be quick, I have much to do around here. I mean, my servants do. Miss Sabina, let's come clean about a matter once and for all. Should be very well, since I'm referring to the silver cutlery that are Cubas's heirloom. The cutlery? Oh, dear God, they're just simple kitchenware. Certainly not. They were delicately made from the finest silver. They're worth a fortune. The kind that can create disagreements between any familiar bond. How dare you? I'll never do anything to anyone, much less for money or possessions. Greed is a sin. My dedication was always towards my faith. That's true, but Mrs. Virgilia, while referring to you, she said, her interests have always surpassed religion. That unqualified Virgilia? My actions are aimed solely at loving my neighbours without any personal interests, do you understand? A commendable trait, Mrs. Spina. And would you, loving your neighbour explain, maybe, why your necklace was found with Padre Cabal, along with your picture? Know your place, who do you think you are, you insolent? If you want to know, I attached the picture only so Padre Cabal could identify the source of the donation for registration purposes. So there's not a drop of desire to be noted for Padre Cabal? After all, churches don't pay taxes. Are you sure you don't have any interests beyond faith? There's nothing beyond faith. How dare you? Padre Cabal is an unshakable man. No one could divert him from the right path. Maybe someone who knew how to reveal his true interests would be able to, perhaps. Perhaps you. I told with Padre Cabal and told me himself the following about you. How can I say no to someone with such devotion? Dear reporter, you're leaving me with nowhere to put my face. In terms of devotion, I have always acted as expected of a lady of my renown and lineage. Leave me alone. Don't you have enough material already? What do you want? I'm just getting started. You present yourself as a lady of renown and lineage, right? Of course, I'm a Cubas, and I could reward you very well. I'm not so sure about that, Mrs. Cubas. After all, Padre Cabal is with whom you gave so much confided to me that a check donated to the church and no funds. No funds? Impossible. Are you sure about that information? How decadent. From what I know, the church came from a person from the elite, bankrupt, and away from high society, which could only be you. It was Cottram, your own husband, who said to me, referring to you. She needs to go back to high society because that's where she's from. What do you think about this? Dear reporter, this has gone too far. I don't have any reason to continue. I'll find out your newspaper editor's name and make sure he fires you. As you wish, ma'am, but there's only one problem. I'm not a reporter. I'm a detective, hired by your father, Bearz Cubas. It's about you never satisfied with the little you've inherited. And also, if your efforts to live and remain in high society were solely backed by romantic interest in Padre Cabal, a man of clergy, and the death of Bearz would make you the only heir of the Cubas family, with that your ambitions will be fully achieved. Imagine that, all the fortune of the Cubas family. Therefore, it is my professional obligation to ask you, was it you who killed Bearz Cubas? Would you have the courage to kill your own brother? Well, I'll be damned. Never forget you for much, you phony little reporter. But keep your sensationalism for someone else. If you want to report me, you better come very well prepared. After all, I am the Mrs. Cubas, the heir of all of the fortune. Who would have enough to do something about me? To hell with all the damn silver cutlery. I have all the money that should have always been mine. Now I have what is rightfully mine, and I have the attention I deserve. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow your face will be stamped on the corner of every newspaper in Rio for the murder of Bearz Cubas. Therefore, I option then to arrest you. Hey little brother, I just had an idea and had to rush over to tell you. What do you think about a family dinner? The kind of dinner party only Cooper's family knows how to throw. Sabina, do you know what time it is? See. Obviously, for an event like this, we'll need relics in the house. For example, the Cooper's soup or the cutlery will definitely be an essential. Sabina, where is it anyway? If it's dusty, I clean it up. It's no trouble at all. Stella, Sabina, what foolishness. You know very well that those utensils are the cause of all the discord. They invented discord. Forget this dinner idea. I don't think it's beneath you to host a dinner party just to get your hands on that cursed cutlery. Brass, how dare you? You think that I, a God-fearing woman, would plan something so greedy? Well, you should know that God is watching and he punishes greedy little people like you in life. Oh, a regretful kill? I should have come here. Oh, that's a new knife. So you're back with news? Let's talk about it. I certainly am, my good friend. I certainly am. Oh, you have news about my sister? I certainly do. And the one to bring us information this time is Cottram, her husband, that loser. Yes. Cottram. Always looking for an easy way to make a fortune. I only wish he'd put it to good use. What did he say about Sabina? She needs to go back to her society, because that's where she's from. Go back? What is this loser saying? Sabina is a Kupa. She'll always be elite. Mark my words, my brother-in-law will try to satisfy that ungrateful Sabina. But let's interpret his words. When you talked to that airhead Cottram, he mentioned the silver cutlery, didn't he? He certainly did, and Sabina stole it, or threatened to steal it from you. You know, Detective, this is common to all of us. We may even say it is a family matter. Sabina spent hours a day looking at them, with rage in her eyes, maybe? The cutlery was part of the Cooper's family heritage. I believe she thought that at least those would be in dispute. Right. But it wasn't the case, and it was the last job of someone greedy like my sister. Could Sabina's greed have motivated her to kill me? After all, with me gone, the inheritance would be hers completely. That would also explain the flattery towards Padre Cabral. He is certainly her confidant, and maybe something more. A fratricide driven by financial gain, a crime as old as time itself. We must find out whether or not this is true, Detective. We're so close now. And what about this other fact? So, did you confront Sabina, Detective? What were her words exactly? Now I have what is rightfully mine, and I'll have the attention I deserve. Unbelievable. Her narcissism and insatiable thirst for the spotlight remain unquenched. I've always been great for her. I don't deserve to be stabbed in the back like that. Right, there we go. We've finished Sabina off. That the Cubas's inheritance was rightfully mine, I believe we all knew. But for Sabina to think she was more deserving than I! Padre and I knew full well that the moment Sabina laid claim to the family inheritance, she would squander it all on that second-rate church. And for what, pray tell? A handful of confetti from that pompous Cabral? I would dearly like to know what Cottram thinks of the sins murmured into the priest's ear inside that confessional. Round of applause for you, Sabina Converse. You managed to provoke a dead man. Whether or not you were the one to end my life, discovering your true feelings towards me would have carved a wound in my heart. Perfect. A satisfying end to our investigation, Detective. It's good to find closure, don't you think? This deductive work, however, has left me fatigued. How about we leave it at that for now? It's not like we won't see each other again, is it? Well, certainly. We will see each other again. But we will see each other again in the next episode. For now, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!